Good evening, everyone. This is Mike Wilson. I come here with Andesite Blue LLC from UK and Andesite UA in Ukraine. Tonight, I have some special guests. This is something that means a lot to me because she is a good friend of mine. We've known each other for over 7 years, since kind of towards the beginning of the war in 2014. And she is here with her daughter. They were in occupied territory of Ukraine by the Russians, and they just escaped from that area about 3 or 4 days ago. So I have them here as a guest, and we're going to have an enjoyable evening. But just to talk about what life is like over there, to talk about the events and how they managed to get here in Kiev. One thing, we're also here brought to you by Toloka Studios. We really appreciate them for being able to have these programs going and to assist in the productions. So, Andesite Blue is an investment company. I'm the owner and co-founder of Andesite Blue, and our design of the company was really to raise money abroad in UK and different EU and different countries, and then invest that money into Ukraine. And since the war had really became full-fledged in February 24th of this year, that obviously stopped. We didn't know what was going to happen. Kyiv was under attack. All the surrounding cities were being bombed and shelled, and the houses were being destroyed. People were being killed. Civilians were being killed. Kharkiv was under a major attack. Of course, Luhansk and Donetsk were under attack. And, but there was a lot of story that went on that we didn't hear about, that didn't make the news. And that's where Alyona and her daughter, Karina, will be discussing that. And there was no actual fighting in her town that when they walked in. And, again, we're going to go over that. But they were occupied, and they didn't treat it any differently than the other occupied territory of Ukraine. So what I'd like to do is take this time right now to introduce to you Alyona and Karina. So, welcome.
Thank you.
So, like I said, we've known each other for a long time.
Yes.
We've communicated for many, many years, and then it wasn't until I came to Ukraine to live here that we actually had a chance to meet. We kind of met through acquaintances, through friends that were common friends that we had on Facebook. And it really grew when I came here to Ukraine back in 2015, and I was training the military. And so that's kind of the time frame and the time period that you and I had kind of started communicating and talking, and we just had some mutual friends that we knew. And then over the years, we were friends, kind of at distance. And then finally, was a little over a year ago that we had met face to face. It was relatively peaceful. I mean, the fighting was still going on in Donetsk and Luhansk, but it was really tamed down compared to 2014 and 2015. But what I'd like for you to do is just take a moment and tell us about you, what you do. With your business, your company, about your daughter, and then she can tell a little bit about herself as well. So go ahead and give us a little bit of background.
First of all, I want to apologize about my poor English. Yes. Yes.
And I no problem, and apology accepted. A lot of our guests that are watching on the show also struggle with English. Sometimes I get carried away and I speak too fast, and you can always ask me to repeat, and I'll try to make it more understandable. So.
Okay, we live in Novoalexeyevka, Khersonskaya Oblast.
Khersonskaya Oblast? Okay.
Yes, Kherson district, maybe Oblast, we say. Near, not far from Crimea.
So it's right by the peninsula there, where the Crimea borders with Ukraine.
Yes, Chongar is the border, is a граница, border.
Border or checkpoint.
Border.
Yeah.
Yes, checkpoint. Yes, thank you. About 6 60 kilometers from us, from our house.
Okay.
I have a little business
Mm-hmm.
in my little town, summer cafe,
Summer cafe?
summer pub, beer.
Oh, pub. Okay. Yes, yes.
Summer pub, yes. And my daughter, she is lives with me.
Mm-hmm.
Studies in Dnipro University.
At University in Dnipro.
Yes.
In Dnipro,
Okay.
yes.
Mhm.
What about exactly? I will
Okay, no, that's fine. And now the summer pub,
yes.
that basically is open only during the summer, so like 6 months.
6 months, yes.
6 months,
From spring to autumn,
Okay,
yes.
okay. So 6 months of vacation and the 6 months of work, hard
Yes,
work, right?
we live in a little town. We have not many such many variants of job. Yes, but
Is there a lot of tourism in your little town in the summer?
in our place is not a lot of tourism because we live in on site, немного в стороне, far from 25 kilometers from the sea. Azov Sea. Yes.
Okay.
Not on the beach.
Wow, so you're not
on the beach.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
For some reason in my mind I was thinking that you were close to the beach. So that's
no.
a bit far from the beach then.
Yes, 20 kilometers.
Yeah, it's not a walking distance.
Not walking distance.
Okay.
Earlier, before Russian occupation of Crimea,
Mhm.
We can walk
Mhm.
more better because of many peoples in a railway station nearest
okay. Mhm.
our cafe.
Mhm.
But when Russia came in our country and occupied Crimea,
mhm.
and we have no railway station.
It goes through.
They don't
Right.
go. No, so we have less job
Yeah, so
for our region.
okay.
And
So Russia has kind of been a problem for the past 8 years then.
yes,
So
yes, of course.
and it has affected, it's a small town like you, and it's affected your business because of like you said, the amount of people who travel through there. And
Yes.
so, did any of the local people of your town, did they ever complain when you shut down and not open in the winter? Did they say, "Why aren't you open?"
Yes. Today they write to us. It is so sad you are not working now
Hmm.
because we go out from our place for now.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes.
Yes,
I
we
know.
have no job for this moment because of this occupation. I don't know. Maybe in the future we could could work there. Maybe in the future, not now, not for now.
Right.
Because of occupation, Russian occupation. But I don't want.
Not until Ukraine is free, until it's all
Yes,
liberated. Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
No.
I don't want to pay the money for Russia
Mhm.
because I have to pay money for if I will work.
Yes.
Will work.
Mhm.
They заставлять. They pay money for them.
Then it allows you
for
to stay
Russia.
open, right?
Yes,
Mhm.
if you want to open.
It's no different than the mafia. When the mafia come into a city,
mafia, yes,
the mafia
yes.
says, "We give you protection." You say, "I don't need protection." It says, "Yes, you need protection, and you
Yes,
have
yes.
to pay them no matter what. You pay them whether you want them or not."
Yes, but this is not protection.
No, it's not protection.
Yes,
it's just
it
to
is-
feed their greedy
Yes.
palms in their
I
hands.
don't want to work under Russian.
Yeah.
I don't want pay money for these people
Yes. Yeah.
because this money will kill our guys.
Yeah, it supports killing
Yes.
our civilians too, our
Yes,
citizens.
yes.
Yeah.
So I can't stay there.
So then on February 24th, when the actual full invasion happened, what happened in your town?
In our town.
Mm-hmm.
We woke up at 4:30.
Mm-hmm.
I had explosion.
Ah, okay.
Explosion.
Yes.
I hoped
Mm-hmm.
that maybe it will rain and
Thunder.
uh,
Lightning and thunder.
thunder.
Yes.
Baba.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. I hoped, but I knew.
That it wasn't, yeah.
Yes, yes. I opened the window and
Listen.
and listen.
Mhm.
Yes, my daughter woke up too. I told her this is what we couldn't wait. This is unwaitable.
Right, the moment is upon us now.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
The very thing that they talked about in the news, threats and
last
everything.
days was many
you
information.
were actually with me that month.
13 I was in
Yes,
Kyiv.
that month.
Yes.
And for a few days.
Yes.
And then
You
we
invited
talked
me.
about it.
Yes, yes, and you invited me.
And I invited you and Karina and your
Yes.
whole family and everybody to come to
Yes.
Kyiv, come to my place, be safe. And you said, "I'll be fine."
You remember what what I answered you? You remember?
Yeah, I said, if it happens, I said, make sure you escape and come to me.
Yes,
and
yes.
and you said,
I said we will fight.
yes.
Yes, we will fight. But tell the truth, I even couldn't imagine that it will be true.
Yeah,
all
was-
this situation, it can be. Russia, our бывший, our brothers.
Yeah,
We,
brothers,
Always
yeah.
we thought about Russians like our brothers.
Yeah, yeah.
Many people connect.
Yeah, families.
Connect. My
Yes.
favorite friend lives in Moscow.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite. She is from our place.
Ah, okay.
Yes. How I could think about it will be true, this war.
Well, and there's so many people that their fathers were born in Russia, their mothers were born in Russia,
Yes,
and they live
yes.
here in Ukraine, and they're Ukrainian, but there's such a connection, there's such a tie of family. It's really very similar to the United States between the South and the North during the Civil War. Families ended up having to fight families. Uncles, you met your uncle who was the enemy, and of course you couldn't shoot your uncle, and there was a lot of turmoil inside when you realized you met your family on the war zone and they were on the other side of the line.
Yes, yes.
And so in some sense that happens a lot in Russia and Ukraine.
Now in Russia lives my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Not only one, but I'm telling about one of them. When we called him and told him about the war, the real war. Our children, my brother's children, was one of them was in Odessa, another was in Kherson. And there were many explosions there was.
Yes.
From first, maybe no, not first, but third, fourth days. Very scary, and we was here at home. And when we told him about a real war, we have the real war here in our country. He laughed.
He laughed at it.
Laughed it, yes, he laughed it. He said that it is not true. It is not true. You are looking for Ukrainian news because you said
Right.
this. Yes. It is impossible to improve that we have a real war with your country, with Russia. He didn't believe. Absolutely.
Yeah, and almost 70 some odd percent don't believe.
Yes,
because
I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, because they want to believe that they live a good life, and that the media is telling them that they live a good life, and
Yes.
that Russia is here to help Ukraine, and Ukraine's going to live a good life like they live a good life. That's what they think, and it's a lie, but it's how they think. Karina, I want to take a moment and ask you what it felt like on February 24th when you heard the first explosion.
I was very afraid. I have panic.
Yes.
Ah,
Really panic.
Yes.
Really panic.
I
Began.
began run
around the house and stuff?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And crying.
Yes, and we began
Gather.
собирать.
Gather. Вообще-то. Gather.
Gather things. Yeah, you began to gather things. Yes.
Our stuff. Yes.
Your things or stuff. Yes.
Yes.
Well, do me a favor and just take a few moments and share that in your native language. Just that little time of what it felt like on February 24th when you heard the first explosion. So just kind of, if you will, just take a moment and share that in your native language.
I don't know.
From 24.
Yeah, the experience in the 24th. Yes.
По-русски. In Ukrainian, but you in Ukrainian or in Russian?
Yes, in Ukrainian.
Ukrainian.
Самого
Ukrainian.
початку.
Так.
Ми прокинулися о половина п'ятої.
На п'яту, так.
І почули взриви. Далеко від нас, не близько, далеко. Та почали збирати все, що ми мали наготові. Так як ми не очікували, але трішечки готувалися до цього. Так. Ми зібрали речі, гроші, документи, все, що було необхідно, та чекали, щоб нас забрали хоч хтось, бо ми думали, що війна вона прийде і до нас, в наше село. Як це уявлялося на той момент, але сталося все не так. На жаль. Зараз вже ми розуміємо, що на жаль.
Ну, що тоді? За нами приїхала машина. І
це просто якісь люди, які теж їхали з...
Мало знайомі люди, але вони
Наші,
їхали, кудись їхали, всі кудись їхали, тому що не знали, що робити. Куди їхати, куди бігти? Англійською?
Нам сказали.
Але
Just a little bit. I asked for it too. Yes, talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now, how long would you say? How many days before you calmed down a little bit? Was it did things seemed a little bit better anyway? The explosion stopped, or maybe you could hear way in the distance, but you were no longer under panic. How long was it before you were not panicking?
For her?
Yes.
2 months.
2 months.
Maybe for this time.
Тільки тоді, коли я приїхала сюди вже на Україну, на українську територію.
When she got to Ukrainian territory without occupation.
Okay. All right. Very good. So So technically, that whole time was extremely stressful for you
Yes.
until you finally escaped. So when you were able to get out, that's when you were able to calm down a little bit. correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Yes,
How
but
about for you, Mom?
for you, me,
Yes, you, not me.
I can't be in panic because I have a daughter.
Correct. Now, I understand that, but it
Yes.
doesn't mean that there's not a lot of pressure on us, and there's just not that aching thoughts and feelings inside of us that that makes us tense.
First day it was very hard, very hard. We was without water, without
Okay.
electricity. 3 or 4 days
I
without.
was ill
Karina,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Wow.
with high
Wow.
temperature.
Wow.
Panic.
And no water and no
Yes,
electricity.
they in the evening they had a high temperature and very bad feeling herself. Maybe 3 or 4 days she was ill.
Wow. Okay.
Yes,
So that even made it much more intensified and worse.
and
And no water and no electricity.
Yes,
And it was
yeah.
winter. So
Yes,
there was no
yes.
heating.
yes, yes, yes,
Wow.
yes. It was very difficult and it was very scary
Yes. Yes.
because you don't know what will be,
Yes. Yeah.
what we will do.
Yeah. How will you eat?
What
How do you go
will
to the
we
store?
eat?
Yeah.
Because in the shops,
The markets. Yeah.
markets, yes. After maybe a week or maybe 2 weeks, we saw empty markets
Yes.
without foods, empty medicine.
Pharmacies were empty.
Pharmacy without medicine. But many people who have high darling impression and who need medicine for every day,
Ah, yes, yes.
they was without this medicine.
Yes. Yeah, so like no penicillin for people who are diabetic,
Yes, yes,
people who
yeah.
had mental conditions where they did antidepressants. They had nothing. They had no ability to be able to take their regular medications.
And it was about 2 months. This.
Wow.
Yes, and for now, slow we began to get some products and medicine from Crimea, from Russian, because they don't. Russians don't let go our products and medicine from Ukrainian territory.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, because, well, it even happened in Mariupol, even though Mariupol was kind of the last stand that Ukraine was holding on to in the big fighting in Mariupol. They wouldn't open up corridors for civilians to leave. They wouldn't allow humanitarian aid to come in, so no water, no food or anything, so they prevented everything from happening to save lives. And Russia was responsible for, the blockades. And even though they would have negotiated agreements between the dignitaries, never happened. Russia's orders were stop anybody, and they shot them. They shot cars. They shot cars that were trying to leave. They shot buses. They, so it was not an easy time. It was very scary. And of course, we know what happened in Bucha and Irpin and all these other towns that were occupied and then Ukraine liberated. But there was so much death behind it because they were just arbitrarily shooting civilians, and just killing mostly the men, but they were killing the women too.
Maybe all first months we had many sounds of going Russian techniques.
Tanks and equipment.
Tanks and equipment.
Yeah.
It seems like every day from morning to evening. We have a road away to Kherson in another side, in one side, and we have not far from a way to Melitopol.
Yes.
So we had every day.
So you are constant equipment going back and forth, tanks and trucks and everything going back and forth. Yeah.
Yes, and it was very scary too. I thought about all of these techniques will kill our guys, Ukrainian, who defend our country.
So that's that's occupied, and also I believe you told me a story that Russians came inside your home. You were not there that day, but they came in your home.
We was in our town maybe 1.5 months. But then we had like guns between Перестрелка. Russian shooting. Yes, we had like Russians shooting somebody.
So it was gunfires from
we had.
Okay.
And I thought I have to take care and go out from town. And we went to seaside, Azov seaside, near, because it is Pisha.
So quietly.
It was quieter on the seaside. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Seaside is no.
Yeah, because you're in that traffic area where there's all kinds of Russians going back and forth with their equipment and stuff. And
yes, and so we went to the seaside, and but after 2 days, my neighbor called me and told that Russian soldiers in my house, yes, they broken the glass in my house.
Okay.
He told that about 50 soldiers.
50 soldiers?
50 soldiers. Was there.
So that's 50?
Yes.
Not 1-5, but 50.
No,
Wow,
yes.
50 soldiers went into your home.
They crossed the roads in this place, and they came to our house. They забирать. They found. They found. I understood later. They found money and gold and silver and some interesting things.
Some appliances.
I thought that maybe they found guns, but not. They took my clothes. Yes, I was very surprised when I knew these. My white long coat, my warm coat too, and my shoes and my bags and my many stuff. Yeah, also.
So to them, they took the most valuable things in your home.
And microwave oven.
Yeah, the microwave oven.
Yes, and hookah. Even
they took the hookah.
and for hookah, all for hookah.
Yeah. Everything that goes with it, right?
Yes. And many of alcohol.
Yes, because you're a bar owner.
Yes, because it's a season bar.
Yes.
And
you store everything in your home.
Yes, at home, and I asked for where is my что вы посмотрели for looking for what is there. I have video. Of the I will show you. I'll show you video from this.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'd like to see the video, of course, but it's just amazing, what you had to go through, and thank God that you weren't there at the time. We don't know, what would happen at that point, but you and your daughter were at the sea. They came in and then left, and they never came back, though. There was only one time that they came in the home?
No.
No, since you were living there, only...
We went because we need some stuff for season change it. We need to close, and we came back for a short time, and took our clothes for summer.
Yes, okay.
Because changed.
The weather's changing,
Weather
yes. Yeah.
changed. So we was, and we can see
what they took and everything.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Not all, because we was very quickly there. We couldn't do this.
Right.
Yes. So.
Well, it's it's hard to even know how that feels, having an invasion in your own home. They come in and they just basically rape everything that they touch. They don't. There's no kindness in war anyway, but just the treatment and the way they handle things. The quote was, Putin came in to save the Ukrainians. That's what the whole, we're saving Ukrainians and we're saving the Russian language, and Ukrainians who want to speak Russian, we're saving them, and we're saving from the Marxists and from the Nazis, and because Ukrainians are being treated horribly, and so they're the ones that come in there and doing the damage, and they're the ones stealing, and they're the ones pillaging, and they're the ones raping, and they're the ones shooting and killing and killing civilians and blowing up civilian institutes and nurseries, and babies are dying, women and children, and of course men are all civilians, have no defense, are dying. So, but that's what you had to, and I can understand, Karina, why you were just constantly in this feeling and emotion of fear and not knowing, what the next day is going to happen.
Yes, that's very hard.
And I was messaging you as often as I could. Sometimes I wouldn't hear from you for 3 or 4 days or even a week. I would send you a message and I wouldn't hear anything. Now, on my end, it was nerve-wracking. It was fear. I was afraid because I knew you were occupied. And when you can't hear from somebody, you don't know what to believe. You don't know what to think. And I knew it sometimes took 3 or 4 days. And then finally, you would respond, and I go...
Because after maybe 1 month, maybe earlier, we had a problem with connecting by mobile
connections.
Yes. Thanks for our Ukrainian people who did this. They did... we can change operator.
Okay.
If one operator is not working, so we can change another.
Okay.
And it was very
Roaming.
yes.
Roaming, but there's no fees, no charges. It automatically picks up the next signal.
It's
fantastic.
Very neat. Maybe.
Yeah, very helpful. No, it was useful. And they do that in Poland also. Poland makes all Ukrainians free of charge. So you use your own phone, even though it's roaming. You're not being charged for it. Poland. So anywhere in Poland, Ukrainians can use their Kyivstar or their Vodafone or any of that and not be charged.
That's great.
They get the internet, they get the data, they get the phone service and everything. So.
Because for today's. About 4. No, when we sat on the train, the connection was broken.
Right.
Yes, we lost connection. Lost connection with
Finally.
our relative.
Relatives.
With your relatives, yes.
With our relatives.
So when you,
Absolutely no connection with them. And we are very worried,
Calm down.
worried
беспокоились.
about all of them.
yes, of course. Now you understand me.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, of course.
It's hard, the people you love. My friend, he's super stressed right now because his brother was captured, and he has all the videos of it, and so he's seen it, and he saw his brother there talking, and his hands up, and the gun pointed at him, and now he's a prisoner of war, and he's been taken out of Ukraine. And they're very close, and they're brothers, and so he's just super, super stressed about this, So when we lose contact with our family, it's just not enjoyable. When we lose contact with the ones we love, it's painful.
Yes.
It's not even a matter of not enjoyable. It's just absolutely painful.
Yes.
And the biggest relief that we get is when we hear from them. The message comes through, and it's just like, wow, it's such a warm feeling. Just that little message that escaped, and got out and says, we're still here, we're still okay, And of course, we don't know what will happen. We know through Russian history that when they are pushed out of a community, when they're pushed out of a city, they do as much destruction on their way out as they can. And that's the most dangerous part of civilian life, is when we're actually making progress and pushing them out of the city, because they're just destructive people. They're barbaric, unfortunately. It's war is cruel, but the way that they act, and they've proven this over many, many years, decades, and hundreds of centuries, how they act towards populations around them. Now, you had an opportunity to leave.
Yes. I made the decision. We will go out in в любом случае. We will go out.
Yes.
Yes, but it is very difficult way to go, and very dangerous way to go,
Yes.
and even very expensive way
Yes,
to
because
go.
it's there's handlers that take risks to take you out, and you have to pay them.
Yes, we waited for
Yes.
our army, Ukrainian. Week and month.
Yes, month, yes.
Second month and third month, but we understood that not for now.
Correct.
Yes. And we decided to go. Had a taxi.
So you grabbed a taxi from your little village.
Yes, from a little village from Azov Sea side.
So from the Azov Sea.
Yes.
Okay, so you were down at the coast.
Yes, we
Okay.
was there, and we grabbed a taxi,
Mm-hmm.
and go to Melitopol.
Melitopol, which was also currently occupied.
Oh, it is a center of occupied.
Right, but also a lot of fighting in
Yes,
Melitopol.
Very many military
Mhm.
there. And we in the morning we went to Zaporizhia. Next
So-
day in the morning we
So you were in Melitopol.
yes we slept there in Melitopol because we needed to go in the morning.
Okay.
Ой, не хватит мне английского языка, чтобы рассказать.
Your brain is going to explode when we're done here.
I think my English will be not enough for explain how it was.
So, okay. So you get to Melitopol.
Yes.
And there's kind of a checkpoint there. There's kind of a gathering of civilians, right, that are wanting to leave in that area, or what? In Melitopol.
Once more, please.
You arrived to Melitopol.
Yes.
By taxi.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. How many people were in your car?
Uh-huh. Раз, два, три. 4 people. We
4 plus the taxi
Yes.
driver.
yes, yes,
So it was you.
yes. Daughter and her boyfriend and
Uh-huh.
his aunt.
And his aunt.
Yes, and his
Okay.
aunt.
All right. And so then you get. So how easy was it to get to Melitopol?
It was easy, but about 6, maybe 8 block posts, Russian block posts, on the road.
That you had to go through. You had to go
Yes,
through the
yes,
checkpoints.
Yes, maybe
So there was 8
6
of them.
or 8 block posts
How did you get through?
from Melitopol.
Well, these checkpoints, you had to go through them.
Yes, they look
Check our
check
documents.
Yes.
Now they're Russian checking your documents, yes?
Russian.
Yes.
And what are you telling them? What I mean, they're asking you.
They asked, "Where are you going?"
Yes.
We go to Melitopol.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? To our relative.
Okay, relatives. Yes.
Relatives,
Mhm.
yes. So we,
Yeah. So you were able to get through with your documents, but only that you're going to Melitopol
The
because of
Melitopol.
the you're going to your family.
yes, or
Yeah.
maybe we go to seaside Kirillivka.
Okay.
Well, you
I don't know where these are, but they,
Yes,
Ukrainians do know.
Kirillivka,
Yes.
Why Melitopol?
Kirillivka is on the seaside too.
Okay.
Azov seaside.
Okay.
A famous place to rest.
Okay. All
Yes.
right.
So we in the morning, next day in the morning we went to Zaporizhia, and it was very interesting and
Now, Zaporizhia is Ukrainian.
Ukrainian. Yes.
Okay. So how did you get from Melitopol to Zaporizhia?
Difficult
Yes, in the morning we went out and приехали, добрались, arrived, да?
Yes.
Arrived almost Vasilivka.
Uh-huh.
Vasilivka, it is a little town
District, область.
Okay.
before
Район.
Vasilivka,
Right.
1 kilometer before Vasilivka,
Okay.
maybe
okay.
2.
Okay.
There is a gas station. There was
Ah,
a gas
was-
station.
okay, was.
gas station, and many of people there who wants to go
Go to Ukraine.
To Ukraine,
Right.
yes, and.
It's funny, they're in Ukraine, but it's occupied, so
Yes.
they want to go to they want to
Yes.
go to the Ukraine where there's
About 200.
200 people there.
No, after
200 automobiles there.
mobile, no, machine.
Cars.
Cars, yes.
Yeah, wow, 200. So there was more people then. There was like 1,000
Yes,
people there? or-
Yes, yes. In each cars, maybe 3-4 people.
Yes, yes.
Very many people with children, newborn, маленькие babies,
Mhm.
babies.
Yeah.
Children run
So
everywhere.
is this the point then between the divide between the free Ukraine and the occupied Ukraine?
Yes, this is a
Okay.
post. But it is not one. It is not one.
Mhm.
We unlock, and we stay there.
Mhm.
Somebody can stay in Vasilivka.
Mhm.
It is worst, хуже.
Yes.
Worst because in Vasilivka explosion.
They're still fighting on both sides.
Yes.
Ukraine's attacking Russia, Russia's
yes.
attacking Ukraine.
In Vasilivka, many Russian soldiers.
Okay.
We was before Vasilivka,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 2 kilometers in this gas station, and we understood in the evening we can't go. We couldn't go. They do not let us go.
Now these are the Russians. Now do these Russians there know that you're going to Ukraine?
Yes, I know.
They know.
Yes.
And they're quiet about it because they get paid?
Once more, please.
The Russians, do they get paid? Are they being paid?
Yes. this question decide taxi man.
Taxi man, yes.
Yes. They all together.
Yes.
It is Kelowna. Many in our company was 5 cars.
5 cars. Ah, so
Yes.
kind of
So-
a caravan of vehicles. Yes. Okay.
And 5 these guys, taxi men, taxi.
Yes.
They decide how it will be in this time. So maybe in this time it can be like this,
Ah,
but in other time,
it might be different.
yes, nobody knows how will you go. Nobody. Why we are didn't go earlier? Because nobody know. Nobody
Right. There was no right.
Yes.
So this
what will be with you on this way?
Right. Okay. I'm getting kind of a picture here, and I'll try to explain to the audience what I see, what you're telling me. It's actually very similar to the Mexican border, American-Mexican border, because they also have handlers, and they have coyotes, they call it, and they take money to smuggle people across the border into America, and a lot of bad things happen in between there, and it's not a safe environment. But these taxi drivers who go around picking up people who want to leave, they have found a way. Now, the taxi drivers themselves are not bad people; they're actually trying to help, but it's a business for them.
Yes.
They're exploiting the opportunity to get you out by taking money, and then they take so much of that money that they pay off the Russian soldiers to be able to have a free
Yes.
way through.
Yes.
So once you get to the certain checkpoints and you get to this staging place of about 1,000 people or 200 plus cars waiting to leave, and they all have a certain time frame. They each knows what they need to do and pay the Russians to let them go.
Yes. Yes.
And so it's become a business. So the Russians are making money. The guards there are probably happy that they're guards there, because that they are the guards there because they're making money.
Yes, maybe you can do this without money, but we met one man who brought maybe a dog. He has a dog
Yes.
to hospital.
Okay. The veterinarian?
Yes, veterinarian, to Dnipro. He was there 9 days. 9. So maybe you can go free, but you don't know when.
Right.
He was there 5 days and came back to Melitopol because there is no toilets.
There's no real, there's not the normal water or...
No, Russians came and bring water.
Okay.
Some water and some foods, some cereal and bread. One day, one time and a day.
Okay, once a day.
Once a day. Yes. So
It's a good weight loss program.
good way.
Weight loss program.
Weight loss.
To lose weight.
Yes, but no toilet.
Stress, yeah.
It is.
Yeah, that would be a little bit hard. I mean, it's a bad joke, but anyway, just again, these are events, these are things that are going on that nobody knows about. This is not in the news. They're not really, explaining this or not saying, telling how people are getting out, because we have heard the news where the buses go to like Mariupol, and they were trying to get there to extract civilians, but those a lot of those were getting shot up. A lot of them weren't allowed to go there and do what they're supposed to do. So there's a lot of danger in there. There's mines all over the place that could blow up, if you walk on it or drive over it. And so there's a lot of dangers, trying to make this, happen, And as you said, in that little city,
Vasilivka.
Vasilivka. Yes.
Vasilivka.
That's why I don't speak Ukrainian. I have a hard time pronouncing even the cities. That, there's fighting.
Yes. We was there in the evening and on the night,
night,
all
yeah.
night, all day and all night, and to
It
another
was
day.
scary night.
Yes, it was very scary, really.
Because of explosions all around, right? I mean,
Yes, because about 12 o'clock we heard explosion near.
close to you.
Yes, close to us.
We was prayed for our lives.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do. You're defenseless, and you can only ask God to help you. And obviously, He did. And He did bring you through there. So when you got out of there and you went to Zaporizhia, what is it?
Zaporizhia.
Zaporizhia.
Yes.
I'm sure, even though you could still hear things in the distance, I'm sure that was a big relief. It was your first breath of fresh air, right?
Yes.
That gave you, it's like, okay, we are actually doing this and we're making it and we are on our way out.
Yes.
Because now you can take a train.
Yes, to Kiev.
Kiev, yes.
Yes, but we came to Zaporizhia, and we had first time air
Alert.
alert.
Air alert.
And
Yes,
it
yes, the
was a
sirens, yes.
Surprise for us.
Because you never heard them before.
No. On the Russian occupation, we have no
Sirens, yes.
because all maps of Ukraine is red,
Red colored.
Yes, yes.
but not Khersonska Oblast.
Okay. The oblast, correct. Correct.
Our places where Russians. We have no alert.
Right, air alert,
Yes,
yeah.
air alert. Surprise.
Yeah.
And my daughter with panic again.
The first night in Zaporizhia, I was slept very good.
Because
But on second day,
after Vasilivka, first night was no alert, no fly
no
alert.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
we didn't hear
Yes, yes.
because we very
but we hear explosions in Zaporizhia.
Right, right.
Yes, yes. Because around of Zaporizhia идут бои, going fights.
Fighting.
Fighting, yes,
mhm.
fighting. And
We didn't used to hear the explosions.
Right. I mean, because your town is really not a focal point of fighting.
yes,
And so it's a lot more quiet.
yes.
Even though there's Russian occupation, you just didn't have that energy of explosions and that fighting to know that at any moment something very bad could happen other than, Russians invading your house. But so it was a lot different. And now you got into these zones where explosions here and over there. And that's what it was like in Kiev the first month and a half. Every night and every day you were hearing explosions.
Yes.
And the sirens would go off very frequently, and it was in the beginning it was quite stressful.
Yes, and now we are trying to use to
You're getting used to
this.
the sounds, yeah,
Yes.
because they still happen about 3 times a day per day. We'll hear the sirens in Kiev go off. Okay, and then you made it to Kyiv. And which was exciting. It was exciting for me because now I know that you're safe, that that you're in free part of Ukraine.
Yes.
There's far more normalcy here. People are engaged in work here.
Yes.
The streets are full of people walking.
Ukrainian flags, oh my God. Ой, у лузі червона калина.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, to see the Ukrainian flag. I mean, yeah, because it's your home, and so. But I'm happy here. It's quite a story. I know there's a lot more to your story that we didn't talk about, but that could go on for a long time.
Feelings like Ukrainian soldiers, our relatives.
Yes,
Yes.
like a relative.
Oh, there's heroes. You know, the Ukrainian soldiers are like our relatives.
Even I even hold one of them. Oh my
Yes.
God! Oh my God!
Wow.
You are my Ukrainian relative.
Wow. Well, welcome to Ukraine. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm happy. I'm so happy that you're here.
We really hope all of our souls that all our places will be on occupation.
Unoccupied. Yeah, we'll be
Unoccupied.
free. Yes.
We'll be
Liberated, that
free.
should be the word. Yes.
We'll be free.
We are praying for our Ukraine,
Yes,
for
every
our
day.
Khersonshina.
Yes. Yes. And I the same. You know, I know that those are very. You know, well, it's all part of Ukraine, and we need to. You know. Recover and to liberate those areas and kick out, as we call those bastards, from Ukraine, because they're not doing anything good, and they're just it's an evil that we're having to live through and day by day. So, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for
Thank you for
enduring
inviting.
Yes, thank
this
you for
and going through the English. And again, I can't express how happy I am you're here because it is a joy to know that you're safe now.
Yes.
And
Thank you for inviting to this TV show, and thank you for inviting to your home, to your
well,
city,
it is yes. It's a pleasure for me. So, I've had a lot of people come on, my guests come on that were volunteers through Yardemes, Future of Child, and the Caritas, the director of Caritas, and that we've talked about the work that they do. And they also get right in the middle of the fight because they're taking aid to those areas that need help. Water is huge. When the water's shut down and there's no electricity, people literally, because you can only go 3 days without water, and then people start dying. Food, we can last a little bit longer. We can go, 2 weeks, 3 weeks without food before our body shuts down. But water is a necessity, and so these organizations are taking water and medical supplies and food to these regions and to these areas where the battles are going on and the civilians and the citizens are suffering and need help. And so, I've been taking the time to focus on Ukraine and the current events that are going on right now with Alyona and Karina that are here, and what they had to go through to get here is, it's just a side of the story that not many people get a chance to see and hear. And so I'm thankful that they're here safe and that they could share their story with me tonight and with you as well. Andesite Blue, we do have a charity page on that. If you go to andesiteblue.com, you just on the drop-down box on the upper left-hand corner, there is a Help Ukraine, and we just ask that you give a few dollars. It doesn't take much, because when many people put their hands together, it makes the work a lot easier, and we get a lot done. And that money directly goes, because I handle it personally. It doesn't go through any organization. It doesn't have to go through a board of directors or other types of people saying, well, we don't know if we want to spend it there. It goes to me, and I put it directly into Caritas and Yardemes and Future of Child and these organizations that help the citizens. Also, giving money to people who can't work anymore and can't afford to buy any food. We actually put money on their card so they can go to the store and buy food. So we do things like that to help the Ukrainian citizens. The war is still going on. It's raging. It's devastating. It's still doing a tremendous amount of damage. I know that we're taking back some territory and we're having victories in Ukraine, but there's still a lot of work to do. We still have to kick out every Russian out of our borders. So there's a lot of work to be done, and there's a lot of help that needs to be done. Anyway, have a good evening, and we just thank you for joining us and listening to our story tonight. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well,